Peace, everybody. This is back with another video. This is what if the U.S. government has it all wrong about the C-19 pandemic? Well, yeah, they do have it all wrong. And as you can see, here's the American flag with the question mark in it. As you can see here, what if the government has it wrong on the medicine and the law? Well, they do have it wrong because what we are going through is not true at all. They lied to you for weeks and months at a time. What if face masks can't stop the C-19 virus? What if quarantining the healthy makes no medical sense? What if staying at home for months reduces immunity? And do you know what happens to your immunity? It lowers. It does go low. What if face masks can't stop the C-19 virus? It can't really because it goes through the face mask no matter what, or not all of it, but I mean maybe here and there, but it doesn't stop the virus. You're still gonna get it no matter what. What if quarantining the healthy makes no medical sense? And it doesn't. It doesn't make no medical sense at all. Healthy people, yeah, you are healthy because you're not wearing a mask. So this is why they say, well, asking what if quarantining the healthy makes no medical sense? And it doesn't make no medical sense. This is why you have to do a lot of research and finding out what is really going on. What if more people have been infected with the virus in their homes than outside them? Now that's a good one. Alright, so with you wearing a mask, you are making yourself sick. What if more people have been infected with the virus in their homes? Yes, so with you self-isolating, you're only affecting yourself. This is why you need air to get out. So this way you'll breathe in a lot of oxygen, but without the mask though. What if there are as many credible scientists and physicians who disagree with the government as those who agree with it? What if the government chooses to listen only to scientists and physicians who would tell it what it wanted to hear? What if the government silences scientists and physicians and even fires one who attempted to tell it what it didn't want to hear? Well, you know what? The government are evil. They're trying to censor everybody. All right, so this is what they are trying to do. Oh no, you gotta listen to it. No, we don't have to listen to the government. What if there are as many credible scientists? Oh, you mean the fake scientists? No. Don't listen to the fake scientists because they don't know what they're talking about. And physicians, there are fake physicians too. You get a lot of good ones, though, good physicians who will tell the truth, but the fake ones, like Fauci, no. He's not even a doctor, and neither is Bill Gates. So they are false prophets. What if the government chooses to listen only to scientists and physicians who would tell it what it wanted to hear? Well, the government is telling lies. They've been lying to you for weeks and months. They say, "Oh, well, you got to do this. You got to do." No, you don't have to listen to them. What if the government silences scientists and physicians and even fires one who attempted to tell it what it didn't want to hear? So this is why you can't trust the fake governments, the shadow governments, because they are trying to silence people. They say, well, you got to put this on the death certificate. You got to put C-19 on there. And these governments are fake. They're not real. What if the government wants to stoke fear into the manipulates because mass fear produces mass confidence? What if individual fear reduces individual immunity? So now, that's a good question. All right, so the government had put fear into everybody. They they put fear in you because they want you to stay in the house, and they don't want you doing this or doing that. You got to six feet away from such and such person. You got to do a takeout only or drive through window only. Um, it's all what they have done to everybody is totally inhumane. What if individual fear reduces individual immunity? So if you're in fear, your immunity is going to reduce no matter what. There's nothing that you can say or whatever. Oh, my immunity is good. No, because you had fear put in you by the government. They say, oh well, we're gonna make everybody fear for their lives. We're gonna keep everybody home while we bail out our corporates, this and that. So this is exactly what they did. What if a healthy immunity gets stronger when challenged? What if a pampered immunity gets weaker when challenged? What if we all pass germs and viruses that we don't even know we have onto others all the time, but their immune system repel what we pass on to them? All right. Your body holds over 380 million viruses in you. There's no way they can live outside of the body whatsoever because it needs a host inside of you to cling on to. All right, and so this is why they can't live outside of the body. Now I know Dr. Judy Mikovits, she's been getting slandered a lot lately, by the fake news media, which is nothing new. But she tells it like it is, and if you check out Dr. Shiva, he's another one. He knows that the viruses cannot live outside the body either. Um, because those two, they have been telling the truth all along, and then of course people say, oh well, she's not real, she's this and that. Seriously, the fake news media is slandering Dr. Judy Mikovits for no reason at all, and she got tired of it. She finally spoke out, uh, because she's tired of people slandering her name all over the place, and she's a real doctor, but it's just that the people don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear the lies, and then it's like, excuse me, why would you want to hear the lies from the fake governments and the fake scientists? Think about it. What if the C-19 virus has run its course and run into natural immunities? What if folks have had symptoms-free episodes with many viruses and are now immune from them? What if the government refuses to understand this because it undermines the government's power to control us? Well, first of all, the government has no right to control us. They really don't. They undermine us every single day. We are their employers. We tell them what to do. If you were to tell your governor to go jump off a bridge, for example, I'm not saying you should do it, it's only an example. If you were to tell your governor to go jump off a bridge, he or she, I'm sorry, would have to do as you tell them. And if they undermine you, you can correct them. What if the C-19 virus has run its course and run into natural immunities? All right, so here's what they did. They took the influenza, okay, and they turned it into a C-19 virus because they wanted to fear everybody. Dr. Fauci is fake. Bill Gates is definitely fake. He doesn't know jackrabbit about vaccines, even though he's pushing it on to everybody. Oh, we got to get everybody vaccinated. The whole world is vaccinated. No, wrong. So this is why anytime you see any of Bill Gates' agenda, just know that it's not true at all, because Bill Gates is a liar and he does not tell the truth about anything. Um, yeah, like I said, your body holds over 380 million viruses inside you, so they cannot live without a host. What if government orders to nursing homes and assisted living facilities to accept the sick and contagious are insane? What if the government that micromanages nursing homes and assisted living facilities knows that they are not hospitals and are not equipped to cure the sick or contain the contagion? Well, first of all, yeah, nursing homes are not hospitals. They're not at all. They're just it's just a nursing home where people can't no longer care for themselves, or if the family members can't care for them anymore, so they take them to the nursing home where they can get 24/7 medical care or 24/7 care, but it's not a hospital at all. It's just a nursing home, that's all. What if government orders to nursing homes and assisted living facilities to accept the sick and contagious are insane? Well, insane, wouldn't go that far, but no matter what, the nursing homes have to accept who the people are, no matter what, if you're sick or not. What if the government makes health care decisions not on the basis of medicine or human nature, but statistics? What if reliance on the government's statistics has made many folks sick? Yeah, and they did make a lot of people sick. With all this fake science around, Dr. Fauci is fake, Dr. Birx is fake, Bill Gates is fake. The shadow governments are fake because they tell us what to do every day. Oh, well, you got to wear a face mask. No, you don't. Because people who have medical conditions, you don't have to wear a mask. And if the people ask you, why aren't you wearing a face mask? You have a right to tell them you have a medical condition, and they are not allowed to question you about it whatsoever, because if they do, then they're breaking the HIPAA law. And I'm pretty sure everybody knows what the HIPAA law is. Excuse me. What if we all be healthier and happier if we make our own choices with our own physicians rather than the government making choices for us? And yes, you do have a right to make your own choice. You can't allow the government to make choices for you. It is against the Constitution. It is against the law. Look where it got Andrew Cuomo. He got sued because people in Staten Island, New York, got tired of him keeping small businesses closed down and that. But see, with healthier choices, they're not allowed to tell you what choice you need. You are allowed to make your own choices. Don't let these governments tell you, oh, you know, oh, we know what's best, but no, they don't, because they're a bunch of sickos. What if it is un-American for the government to tell you how to care for yourself? I care for myself all the time, and I'm pretty sure most of you would care for yourself too. What if it is un-American for the government to tell you how to care for yourself? Yeah, it is un-American. They're not allowed to tell you what to do. They may suggest it, but they're not allowed to tell you, oh, well, you gotta do by our laws? Excuse me? No. What if it is equally un-American for you to follow the government when it introduces into your personal choices? And it is un-American for it. They when it introduces into your personal choices. You are allowed to make your own personal choice, yes. It is un-American for the government to say, oh, well, I want you to stay in a house for 14 days. I want you to go, when you go to the store outside, I want you to wear a face mask. No, they can't do that. I want you to close your, they, see, the government, they could say, oh, well, you have to do by my orders or we're going to put you in jail, blah, blah, blah. No, they can't put you in jail. They're not allowed to. Your personal choices are your personal choices, not theirs. They have no say in anything whatsoever. What if the U.S. Supreme Court has ruled many times that your health care decisions are private, personal, and to be made between you and your physician? Yeah, what you talk about between you and your physician are between you. The government has no say-so whatsoever. The Supreme Court, they can't do nothing. They're not allowed to rule it, no matter how much no matter how much they try to tell you what's best for you, this and that. No. What if the Supreme Court has also ruled many times that your private healthcare decisions are none of the government's business? And it's not none of the government's business. They have no right to question you about your personal health choices. They have no right to question you about your personal choices. And and I agree with that. It's none of the government's business. They can't tell you what to do. Who are they? They are nobody. What if we never elected a government to keep us free from all viruses, but we did elect it to keep us free from all tyrants? Now that I like that idea. Keep us free from all tyrants. Now that's a good idea. Get rid of the tyrants. That's what you need to do. Vote, kill them out, because you know what? They are pathetic. They're bullies. They think they could bully their way into everything that they want you to do. And this is why they're called tyranny governments. They're tyrannical. They are not allowed to tell you. They are not to bully you ever. Who are they? Who died and left them boss for them to bully you around? I hope nobody died and left them boss for them to bully you around, because you know what? Then y'all are a bunch of morons to let them do this to you. What if the government, which didn't deliver the mail, fill potholes, stop robocalls, or spend within its income, is the last entity on earth into whose hands we would voluntarily repose our health, our safekeeping? What if the government won't admit that its understanding of science is colored by politics? See, this is where it gets you. The robocalls, well, we get tired of those. The robocalls, well, you get phone calls, well, this is such and such, but then you got to hang up on them and blah, blah, blah. What if the government, which can't deliver the mail, well, the mailmen have to stay. They have no choice. They have to mail letters, bills, whatever else they need to deliver. Fill potholes. Well, we know there's plenty of those in the streets. Pothole city all over the place. It don't matter which state you live in. You get plenty of those around. Or spend within its income. Is the last entity on earth into those whose hands we would voluntarily respond our health for safekeeping. Well, patriots, we are allowed to govern ourselves. We're allowed to. We make up our own laws. They can't do anything to you. You're allowed to create your own laws. What these shadow governments can do are not doing the right thing. They're throwing politics in it, and they're saying, oh, well, you was blah, blah, blah. No. The government won't admit that its understanding of science is colored by politics, and it is colored by politics because they're throwing politics into everything. They say, well, you gotta do this. Blah, blah, blah. Excuse me? Who are they? What if the government has misunderstood its mandate? What if the government thinks it can do its job by keeping us safe but unfree? What if, according to the U.S. Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, government's first duty is to safeguard our rights? What if there is no legal bias for the government to keep us at home or to close our businesses? Alright, so the first one, what if the government has misunderstood its mandate? And they did, because you got politics that are being thrown in the middle of everything. And of course they're criticizing Trump, obviously. Well, Trump is this, Trump is that. Excuse me? Hello? Trump is not even a politician. He's just a patriot who got elected as president. He doesn't care about the politics or anything. He cares about the American people. That's all he cares about. Remember what he said, that put America first? That's what he's been doing. And here comes all this misinformation. Well, Trump is doing this. Trump is excuse me, shut up, fake news media. What if the government thinks it could do its job by keeping us safe but unfree? How are they keeping us safe? They don't care about us. How are they keeping people safe? If they want to give you the vaccines, mandatory vaccines, that's not keeping us safe. They want you to have mandatory vaccines, but then, of course, there's a lot of misinformation out there, yes, and you got to dig for it, but it's not easy looking for it because the internet, I don't know, they're blocking parts of it what you need to look up for. What if, according to the U.S. Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, government's first duty is to safeguard our rights? How are they safeguarding our rights if the police are out here beating people to death every day, and the governments are not even doing their jobs like they're supposed to? I mean, I could understand police brutality, but geez, come on. They're not protecting us. They're killing us, especially when it comes to the black community, because that's who they're going after the most. The police officers think they're above the law, and they're not, because you have a right to sue the police officers. What if there is no legal bias for the government to keep us at home or to close our businesses, which they had no right to do? The government was not allowed to close your businesses. What they did was totally illegal. They did not do the right thing. They lied to you, they betrayed you, and they deceived you. Remember, the devil is a liar, and people don't even realize that the devil is a liar, because what they're doing in front of you is totally illegal. You gave up everything for these tyrannic governments. You said, oh, I'm going to follow you, my government. Yes, let me follow you. Let me be enslaved. How are you a slave to the governments when you could think for yourselves? You can make your own personal choices. They cannot tell you what to do. What if the government gave itself the power to interfere with our personal choices? No, they can't. The only way they could interfere with our personal choices is something happens. That's the only time. But other than that, no. What if that self imposed power violates the basic constitutional principle that the government derives its powers from the concept of the governed? With the governed, us Americans, we are their employers. They are our employees, so they have to do what we tell them to do. And if they don't, then you have a right to correct them by telling them, no, this is not what I want, and I don't care what you say. You're going to have to, you could tell the government, oh, no, we don't want this. You have to do as we tell you to do. So this is why patriots are the government's employers. They are the employees. Now there's a difference there. What if no one consented to a government that interferes with our personal choices? And you do have the right to not consent to anything. That means do not consent to vaccines, do not consent to microchips, do not consent to whatever garbage they're going to throw at you because you know what? They're full of garbage. Um, what if our personal choices to take personal chances have never needed a government permission slip? And you don't need permission from them. You don't. You don't need permission from them. You could do whatever you want. You could do whatever you want. They can't do nothing to you. Now, yesterday I went out for a walk. Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 police cars that came, or in the SUVs, I'm sorry, drove by me and that. They didn't bother me. Because they know they are not allowed to run up on me and say, hey, what you doing out here without a mask, blah, blah, blah. They're not allowed to do that. I don't get in their way. They don't get in my way. Simple as that. What if the Constitution was written to restrain the government? That means that means the government is not allowed to go against the Constitution. They are restrained for a reason. What if all in government, local, state, and federal, have taken an oath to uphold, and what if the government decrees that liquor sales are essential, but clothing sales are not? Alright, so now they're trying to say clothing sales are not essential. What are you supposed to do? Not buy new clothes? They can't tell you that. Liquor sales are essential. Well, yeah, that's every day. The liquor is essential. That's every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, even including holidays. But clothing sales are not essential? Something must be wrong there because clothes are essential. If you need a new outfit or whatever, and they're telling you, oh, well, you can't buy this and buy that. Excuse me? You could hold them accountable for that. What if the government decreases that abortions are essential but orthopedic surgery is not? Well, excuse me, but abortions are not essential because they're saying, because you know what, now there's a lot of governments that are accepting abortions. They're saying, yeah, well, this is what we want. This is how we're going to get rid of the blah, 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 and such and such. But orthopedic surgery is not, orthopedic surgery is essential, but abortions are non-essential. But when you got Bill Gates' father who's head of Planned Parenthood, hello, why do you think the shadow governments are with him? Because they say, oh yeah, we want to kill the babies, blah blah blah. Oh, you know what? stop listening to these people. What if the government decrees that music stores are essential, but the free exercise of religion is not? Well, they have no right to tell you you can't go to church. Music stores you can go to. They're both essential. Free exercise of religion is not. Excuse me, but yes, there is free speech of religion. You are allowed to go to church. You are allowed to do whatever you want. You are allowed, if you want to hold a parking lot service for church, you're allowed to do that. Do not allow the cops to bully you. Do not allow the governments to bully you, because what they are doing is totally and extremely illegal. What are these decisions about what is essential and essential are for individuals and not for the government to make? Yes, you can make your own decision. The government are not allowed to make them for you. So if the government is telling you, oh, well, you can't go to the barber shop, you got to close up your barber shop. And, excuse me, Mr. and Mrs. Government, you would tell them people not to have their haircuts? There are people that can do it out of their house, and yet the police are coming to your house, say, knock, 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 knock. Hey, we're here to arrest you. We heard that you've been running a barbershop out of your house, blah, blah, blah. Excuse me? The police have no right to do that. They're not allowed to do that. Because now they're getting neighbors to snitch on their own neighbors? Huh? Who does that? What if the barber or short order cook or retail salesperson in a barber shop and a luncheonette and a clothing store are essential? Yes, they are essential. Yes, they are. Barber shops are essential. Short order cooks and retail salesperson are essential. Luncheonettes are essential. Clothing stores are essential. What if to those who love God, the free exercise of religion is essential? Yes, for all of you that do love God, yes, it is essential. They cannot say, oh, well, the religion is not essential. Excuse me? This is why the shadow governments are trying to silence you. They're taking your freedom of religion away from you. They want it all for themselves. They say, yeah, we're going to make sure they never go to church again. We're going to close all the churches. Blah, blah, blah. Excuse me? They have no right to do that because religion is essential. What if the government makes essential whatever serves its friends, enhances its wealth, maintains its stability, and removes obstacles to its exercise of power? Alright, so the government makes essential whatever serves its friends, enhances its wealth. Alright, so the government only cares about themselves and their wealthy friends. That's all they care about. They don't care about you at all. They only care about money and power because they think they can control everything. Excuse me, when was the last time the government ever paid any taxes? Let's say never. That's how much they don't pay their taxes. And even if they do, they get they can get with very little or no taxes payback at all, really. What if the Constitution, with its protections of our rights to make free choices, is an intentional obstacle to government power? And yes, you do have a right to make free choices. They can't say, well, you can't go to such and such place because we're telling you you can't go there. Excuse me, but you can overpower them. You have a right to do what you want. You have a right to free choices. They don't have no choices at all except to do what we tell them to do. What if America's founders and the Constitution's framers choose liberty over safety? What if the government doesn't like that choice? What if the government only normally endorses it? Well, you know what? Governments are trying to take your freedom uh, away from you. That's what they're trying to do. What if America's founders and the Constitution's framers chose liberty over safety? I would rather choose safe. I would choose safety over liberty anytime, or is it the other way around? I don't remember. But the government cannot, and if the government don't like that choice, too bad. Who cares what they say? They're nobody. They're bullies. That's all they are. They just bullying you around, saying, "Oh, you can't do this and you can't do that." Speak for yourself, government, because you know they are the bullies of their own. They cannot make the laws for you. You have to make the laws for them. They have to do as you tell them to do. What if, when the pandemic is over, the government remains tyrannical? They've been tyrannical for decades. Who are they kidding? The government is tyrannical. They have been for a long time because they've been bullying everybody. They've been telling, well, you can't do this, you can't do that. If you do this or do that, we're gonna throw you in jail. Blah blah blah. Excuse me? Who died and left them bars? Ain't nobody died and left them bars. What if, when the pandemic is over, folks sue the government for its destruction of life, liberty, and property, only to learn that the government gave itself immunity from such lawsuits? Well, excuse me, yes, you can sue the government. Yes, you are. When the pandemic is over, you better have a whole bunch of lawsuits against them because they're not allowed to do whatever they want to you. They caused humanity harm big time. They caused mass destructions of life. And for them to give themselves immunity, no, they can't do that either because they find every excuse to lie about, oh, I didn't tell this person that, blah, blah, blah. And then when they get outside, yeah, I fooled the court about this and about that. Who are they? They'll never know. Excuse me, but then they're the ones that are lying under oath and perjuring themselves. Think about it. What if, when the pandemic is over, the government refuses to acknowledge its end, and they are refusing to acknowledge it? They don't care. They just want to keep you locked down. They do not care whatsoever. And they think, oh, well, it's okay. We're going to keep everybody locked down. Blah, blah, blah. We don't care what the news media, and they never do because the news media is owned by the tyrannical governments as it is. So the news media is definitely tyranny. What if, as Thomas Jefferson said, the blood of patriots should be spilled on the tree of revolution at least once in every generation? What if we nullify the government that has nullified our rights? Alright, so yeah, what if, as Thomas Jefferson said, the blood of patriots should be spilled on the tree? I think it should be. I think on a tree, I think it should be because that means revolution for the patriots at least once in every generation. So every generation they should be spilling blood out. I'm not saying, oh, you got to go cut yourself up, this and that. No, I'm not saying that. But every generation to spill blood on the tree, yeah, you can do that because that means revolution. And that means the governments are not allowed to tell you what to do. They can't do nothing to you. What if we nullify the government that has nullified our rights? And yes, you do have a right to nullify the government because they nullified your rights. And this is why they are not to be trusted anymore ever again because they're tyranny. The news media is tyranny, even though I saw somewhere they said, well, the news media is protected under the First Amendment rights. Since when? Since when did news media become protected under First Amendment rights? They haven't. They've been lying to you for years and years, and you don't even know it. Stop allowing them to take over your personal choices because you can have your personal choices. They're not allowed to make personal choices for you. You can make choices for them, but they can't make choices for you. So that's how it is. And of course, Andrew P. Former judge of the Superior Court of New Jersey, is a regular contributor to the Washington Times. He is the author of 9 books on the U.S. Constitution. So he knows about the U.S. Constitution. So if you want to go look for that book or order it through Amazon or wherever it is sold at, then you are more than welcome to order that book. So, but other than that, these governments are not allowed to make personal choices for you. They're not. They are breaking laws all over the place. They don't even know what they're doing really because they undermine us every day. And they're not allowed to do that. Leave your comments below. I am out.